Antonio starts right now.
New this morning, San Antonio police trying to piece together a deadly shooting on the city's west side. We're going to tell you what we know so far.
And the search is on for a suspect responsible for prompting a shootout with police in the parking lot of a church on the city's northeast side.
And taking a live look at the Alamo City. People got some storms overnight. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey, what we got and what we can expect for the rest of the weekend. Good morning. It's 6 o'clock this Sunday. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. All right, so it's kind of like a tale of two different weather patterns because you went for a bike ride, credit to you, in the 100-degree heat.
That was not, no, I don't advise that. But then when I got home, I could hear the thunder. Then we had all this thunder and lightning, Sarah, and then I checked my rain gauge and I didn't get a single drop, Sarah.
Yeah, Unfortunately, a lot of folks didn't get some good rain, but plenty got lightning. And so because of that, there's still some outages there. CPS reporting a little bit over 1,500 customers without power, but that has improved. Late last night, that number was up to 13,000 customers without power. So it's nice to see that power is being restored across the city. And as we look at the live radar right now, most of this rain is fizzling out. There's still some good thunderstorms for areas near Dilley and Cotulla, but as you can see, things are starting to really fall apart. And coming up, we're going to analyze the storm that moved through Bexar County and the metro area yesterday. Really, honestly, a hole of rainfall across that 410 corridor yesterday, just plenty of thunder and lightning. But there's some good news. If you didn't get the rain last night, we have more chances of rain on the way in the coming days. Right now outside, though, it is cooler because that front has moved through. It's 68 degrees and dew points are actually falling. Dew points are in the upper 50s. You step outside right now and it feels really pleasant with those winds from the northeast at about 10 miles per hour. We're also seeing a few wind gusts of up to about 20 miles per hour in some places. And today we're going to be looking at a high temperature, a lot cooler. Yesterday we were at 101. Well, today we'll be looking at high temperatures in the 80s. So coming up in the forecast, we'll talk about your Sunday and those better rain chances right around the corner. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. A man is dead this morning after an overnight shooting on the city's west side. It happened on San Ignacio Avenue, not far from North General McMullen and Culebra Road. That's where police say they found a man dead in the road with gunshot wounds next to a car riddled with bullet holes. At this time, details are still limited. Just look for more updates both on air and online.
And this morning, investigators searching for the suspect they believe responsible for prompting a shootout with police. All of this happening in a parking lot of a church on O'Connor Road. At last check, this is what we know. Someone fired gunshots towards a police officer all in the parking lot of the Calvary Temple Church on the northeast side. Gunshots hitting a police unit. Now, the officer did return fire. We're told the suspect then lost control of their vehicle, crashed into the church. Then that suspect jumped out of the vehicle and ran away. Right now, no injuries of any officers or suspect are being reported. We are still waiting to learn why this all happened.
More than 71,000 pounds of baby formula is headed to the U.S. A truck with the formula arrived to Ramsden Air Base in Germany yesterday and will be loaded up and sent to Indianapolis, Indiana today. This is the first flight of Operation Fly Formula in response to the ongoing baby formula shortage. We're going to have much more on this story coming up in our next half hour of GMSA.
We're back here at home, trending now on KSAT.com. Two San Antonio parents filing a lawsuit against Apple. Yes, the phone company, and in this case, the AirPod company. Now, the lawsuit alleges that their 14-year-old son had his right eardrum torn apart by a pair of Apple AirPods. According to the lawsuit, their son was watching Netflix on his phone with his AirPods at, quote, low volume. That's when an Amber Alert suddenly went off at a loud volume. The lawsuit goes on to say the boy suffered permanent hearing loss in his right ear, as well as dizziness, vertigo, and nausea. Now, you can read more details on the story right now. Just head to KSAT.com.
President Biden has signed a $40 billion aid package for Ukraine. The package provides military and humanitarian assistance, as well as support for refugees. Biden signed it while in Seoul. While there, the president spoke about strengthening relationships with Seoul and Tokyo. The two nations discussed expanding joint military drills as a possible North Korean nuclear missile test looms. Biden says Biden even saying he would consider meeting with North Korean president.
The Republic of Korea and the United States are standing together, part of a global response with our allies and partners around the world to condemn Russia's flagrant violations of international law.
Well, Ukrainian President Zelensky thanked U.S. on Twitter. Meanwhile, Russia's war in Ukraine approaches the 3-month mark, leaving families torn apart and villages like this one in ruins.
All right, time now is, what is it, about 6:06? And, you probably noticed it's been hot. Yesterday, like close to 100 degrees. Our Sarah Costa, braving the heat on a bike ride. Good for you. 10 miles?
10 miles.
Good, just well done. So
but I wish I was here at this pool.
I was going to say, if you're like other people in and around San Antonio, you want to cool off, we're going to explain how you can do that. Still ahead.
What I really enjoyed was the much cooler temps this morning. Does that say 67 degrees? Wow, 67 degrees, better than our 77 that we started yesterday morning. Sarah Spivey has all that news about the incoming rain in our future when we come back.
KSAT 12 celebrates Military City, USA, powered by USAA.
San Antonio has been called Military City, USA for its different career training at Joint Base San Antonio Lackland. And here at the Career Enlisted Aviator Center of Excellence is where the United States Air Force flight attendants learn the fundamentals of serving the president on Air Force One.
We are training future flight attendants who will be going off to fly with our nation's top leaders, to include the Vice President, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, flying anywhere and everywhere. Obviously, our main job is safety on the aircraft.
The aircrew are required to learn all aircraft emergency procedures plus proper etiquette while flying around the world with our top leaders.
It is imperative that we are teaching them to pay attention to details. Something so small could set a mission back. We don't want our users to be late to meetings, so we harp on manners, etiquette, and protocol, teaching them to be professional since they will be in front of some of our nation's most important leaders.
Okay, as you've probably noticed, it's been incredibly hot lately.
All right, so that is why the city of San Antonio able to open a total of 8 pools for you to cool off on. All right, so Parks and Rec has a total of 27 pools, and they are working to get more and more ready for everyone. Pools will be open on Saturdays and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And here's the best part, they're free.
Right now, we are not. We are open full capacity as long as our staffing allows. Our restrooms, dressing rooms, showers, they are available.
Well, the city is also working to recruit lifeguards. The incentive is now up to $1,000 if you are hired for the summer. Pretty good for a summer job.
I would say so. All right, so Sarah Spivey, are people going to need the pool today?
Well, actually, temperatures will only be in the 80s for highs today. I know, the first time since May 5th we've seen a forecast high in the 80s for us in San Antonio. It's been a toasty May. Now, last night, a cold front did sweep through San Antonio. It brought some showers and storms. Right now, though, most of that is falling apart. There really are still some thunderstorms right now in areas closer to Tilden right now. A few flashes of lightning near Tilden and George West in Live Oak County. But generally, the rain has come to an end around San Antonio. And here's the thing. Yesterday, some areas got some beneficial rainfall, but most of the beneficial rain went around San Antonio last night. So take a look at the 24-hour rainfall totals. You can see that there's been some areas that have seen some good rain. Anywhere you see this green color, that's about ½ an inch to an inch of rainfall. So that happened up near Bulverde, up near Timberwood Park, out near New Braunfels and Green, as well as out towards Seguin. But around San Antonio, really the only part of the city that got some beneficial rain was on the west part of 1604. On the western side of Bexar County. Other than that, pretty much a hole right through Loop 410 there into downtown San Antonio. But the thing is, if you missed out on the rain, like a lot of people did, they just heard thunder and lightning and missed out on the rain. We have got more chances for rain on the way, especially by tomorrow night. So we're going to talk about that in a bit. For now, though, take a look outside. It feels a lot more pleasant out there because of that cool front that moved through last night. It's 68 degrees. Dew points are only in the 50s, and winds are from the northeast at about 10 miles per hour. We've seen wind gusts of up to 25, 30 miles per hour already this morning, and currently a wind gust in Boerne at 20 miles per hour, closer to 25 miles per hour in Hondo. A wider view here, it's pretty gusty in Del Rio and up in Austin as well. And temperatures are much more pleasant this morning. It's 62 in Kerrville, 69 in Uvalde, 68 in Hondo, 66 in Gonzales, and 72 in Del Rio. Look how cold, though, it is across parts of the Panhandle because of that front moving through. It's 40 degrees in Amarillo, feeling like winter up in Amarillo. Looking at our future cast, we're going to have clouds this morning, but we'll see some sunshine this afternoon. Because we're going to see a little sunshine, I think we're going to be warmer than what was originally forecast yesterday. We'll be closer to about 83, 84 degrees in San Antonio. That's still cooler than the average of 88, and the coolest day, again, that we've had since May 5th. So it's going to be pleasant today. 82 in New Braunfels, 82 in Seguin, 84 in Hondo, 85 in Sabinal, and 79 in Comfort and Kerrville. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast calls for a cloudy morning. Temperatures generally in the 60s. We'll have breezy northeast winds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seeing a little bit more sun in the afternoon. Around lunch, Sunday brunch, going to look good. 76 degrees outside. There will be an off chance for a stray shower today, but really our rain chances are done for your Sunday. And then in the afternoon, 83 degrees for the high temperature, a welcome change. Again, if you missed the rain last night, we are going to have chances for rain through Wednesday, especially on Monday night. So let's talk immediately about Monday, tomorrow. Now in the morning, there could be some storms west of San Antonio. Those may fall apart before they even make it to San Antonio. So most of the day tomorrow should be quiet. We'll be looking at another day with a high temperature in the 80s rather than in the triple digits. Then later in the evening, looks like a line of storms could develop and race towards San Antonio. Timing of this is a little difficult, but pretty much we're thinking anytime after 6 p.m. that's when you're going to want to be alert for storms around San Antonio. And some of these storms could be strong or severe. Scattered thunderstorms bringing some severe weather such as large hail and damaging wind gusts tomorrow night are possible, again mainly after 6 p.m. So looking at the 7-day forecast, I know it was disappointing for many not to get that good, healthy rain in San Antonio in your backyard, but we have got more chances for rain in the forecast. We always knew that rain was going to be scattered, and unfortunately those around San Antonio last night missed out. But hey, better rain chances right around the corner. Highs will only be in the 80s for most of this week. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Time now, just about 6:16, 67 degrees out. Did you watch the game yesterday?
I didn't.
We know.
Riding my bike.
Good point. All right, so it was a big battle for Texas in the majors. It was a close one. After the break, we have highlights. Rangers, Astros. We know you're an Astros household, so.
Yes, go Astros.
There you go. We'll be right back. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. Starting off with morning sports, going to Minute Maid Park in Houston. Astros welcoming the Texas Rangers. Let's take a look. Houston strikes first, a run in the first inning. While on the visitor side, the Rangers really could not get anything going until, well, the 8th inning. And at that point, not enough to get the win. Astros win a close one. The final from Minute Maid, Houston 2, Rangers 1. Don't worry, though, Rangers fans. You got another shot this afternoon. Playing again, 1 p.m., and again, it is in Houston. All right, so I know that our Spurs are not in the playoffs.
I know, it's sad.
But we got a high pick in the draft, so it's fine. Already doing some draft research. Don't worry. But in the Eastern Conference, well, Eastern Conference Finals are heating up. Coming up in our next half hour, a recap of Game 3, Heat Celtics, as well as a preview of Game 3 in the West. So we got Luka taking on Steph Curry. We got a lot of good games going on.
Good games.
Yeah, are you rooting for anyone?
No.
That's probably best.
Yeah.
Time now, 6:20, 67 degrees out.
All right, still ahead on GMSA, a big peanut butter recall. We want to let you know about over salmonella concerns. Details after the break.
Good morning and welcome back. So as the war in Ukraine continues, those who live there are fighting to preserve their culture. Meanwhile, Ukrainians here in San Antonio want to make sure our community knows why that culture is worth fighting for. Lee Waldman tells us about an interesting exhibit inside the IGO Library on the Northwest Side. And this exhibit displays pride in Ukrainian history.
This is my mom. She is in Kyiv. All the time she was in Kyiv. She never left, and she's still there.
The photos on display at the IGO Library tell the story of Ukraine. It brings out a lot of feelings in Olenka Bravo, one of the co-founders of Ukrainian San Antonio.
Very difficult to hear her on the phone when the sirens are there. And when I see her picture, it's even more difficult.
Members of Ukrainian San Antonio worked with the city council leaders in District 4 and 8 to get this display set.
This project is about Ukraine. The exhibit is, how to say it, it's of utmost importance in the war.
Bravo explains part of the attack on Ukraine is with misinformation on the Russian side, claiming Ukraine was never its own nation and that it should belong to Russia. By showcasing the photos and items of decades-old clothing, jewelry, and other artifacts from different regions, Bravo hopes this shows the deep culture of their country.
That way we have more proof to show that we always been and we always who we are.
Her 9-year-old son Albert says he feels a mix of emotions looking at the display and when talking about Ukraine.
I want people to know what it's going through right now, just everything I had to go through.
Seeing the picture of his grandmother in particular, Albert's heart breaks.
Imagine your parents, your grandparents were every day who didn't know whether they were alive or dead. Just imagine.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
The display doesn't have a set time for how long it'll be for. If you're looking for other ways to support Ukraine, like a cheesecake and espresso is having another fundraiser today.
It is happening at the Pearl Farmers Market starting at 10, going until 2 p.m.
An important recall alert we want to remind you about this morning. The FDA is investigating a multi-state salmonella outbreak that they believe linked to some Jif peanut butter products. The Jif peanut butter products in question have lot code numbers that you can see on your screen right there. Maybe go picture of those numbers. A total of 14 people in 12 states have reported illness due to the outbreak, and 2 have been hospitalized. The salmonella cases traced back to a plant in Lexington, Kentucky, operated by J.M. Smucker Company.
Time now, 6:26, 67 degrees out.
Well, much more to come. GMSA right now, local animal shelters are dealing with an influx of animals and are overwhelmed and out of space, not out. And we're going to tell you how you can help them out.
And a dramatic cliffside rescue in Northern California, all caught on camera. We have the details. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. 6:30 this morning, and yesterday was just a whirlwind of weather.
I know, it was really hot, and then we had those slow rolling thunderstorms that Sarah Spivey talked about, and you can see it affected some of our outages. Right now, 119 still affected by
the crazy part, though, last night we saw those numbers up to 13,000 people without power just because of all the thunder and lightning.
Yeah, so it's good to see that power has been restored to the majority of those people, but there's still 1,700 CPS customers without power this morning from yesterday's storms. And yesterday's storms were way more bark than bite. In fact, around San Antonio, there was plenty of lightning, but not a ton of rain. Now, if you missed out on the rainfall, the good news is there are more rain chances in our future, particularly tomorrow night. But first, let's take a look at the current radar right now. We really only have some lingering showers and storms out near Beeville and in Live Oak County, as well as closer to the Rockport area. So those storms are starting to fizzle out. Meanwhile, here in San Antonio, we're still dealing with some clouds out there this morning. It's cloudy and 68. Winds are from the northeast at about 10 miles per hour. It feels a lot nicer outside than it has the last few mornings because we've got low humidity and temperatures in the 60s. Feels great out there. Elsewhere, we've got 61 in Bernie, 64 Bulverde, 62 in Kerrville, 70 in Castroville, 64 in Seguin, and 66 in Converse. Today, we're going to be seeing clearing skies, a small chance for an isolated shower during the first part of the day here, but honestly, it's going to be a really nice day, a really nice May day because we've had temperatures well into the triple digits the last couple of days, and now, as you can see, a high temperature only of 83, northeast winds gusting up to 25, so it is going to be a bit breezy too. Hey, coming up in the forecast, I'm going to talk about those better chances for rain tomorrow night and whether or not we could see any severe weather with that as well. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. And your top stories this morning, a 51-year-old woman is dead, shot and killed by police on the city's east side.
San Antonio police say that the woman had a weapon when officers had confronted her. Now, the investigation is ongoing into what exactly happened. John Paul Barajas explains.
A large number of officers swarming a home off Del Mar near South New Braunfels just after 5:30 for a call that started as a cutting and then escalated into police using deadly force, killing a 51-year-old woman, according to SAPD.
My dad heard six gunshots, and when he heard the shots, it came out and there was cops running out of the driveway.
Neighbor Juan Cordero explained he didn't know much, but at one point says the 51-year-old woman was waving a gun in the air prior to police arriving, which matches preliminary information given by Captain Jesse Salame, who says the 51-year-old, an on and off again girlfriend to the homeowner, came to visit and was agitated. She allegedly started either punching or scratching the boyfriend before grabbing an AR-15.
She's been in this house before. She's kind of on again, off again, so she's familiar with the house and with what's inside of it.
The SAPD captain adds the boyfriend and his roommate were able to wrestle the gun away and pushed her into the backyard and locked the door. The 51-year-old then allegedly grabbed a long blade knife and was stabbing the door when officers arrived.
The witnesses reported hearing the commands by officers to drop the knife.
A 3-year veteran with the department ended up shooting multiple rounds, killing the 51-year-old. That officer reported trying to use a taser before switching to the more lethal option.
You say the taser was ineffective. It was ineffective when it hit her, or was ineffective in discharging?
We don't know, and that's part of the investigation. So it's apparent that the taser was used based on the evidence.
Now, only one officer fired at that 51-year-old, but 3 of them confronted her. All of them are down at SAPD headquarters giving their statements and will likely face either administrative leave or administrative duty. And there is still a lot to look at in this case, like officer body cam video as well as neighbor's doorbell video. As for the boyfriend and the roommate, they did not suffer any serious injuries. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. The search on for the person who police believe held a clerk at gunpoint. Investigators are now asking for your help trying to find the person responsible. So take a look. This all happened on May 17th at a Circle K on McCullough Avenue. That's near West Josephine Street and I-35. That's where officers say the suspect pulled out a handgun, pointed at the clerk, and demanded money and cigarettes. We're told the suspect then took off in a dark-colored vehicle. If you have any information that can help investigators, you are asked to call San Antonio Crime Stoppers. That number on your screen, 210-224-7867.
Some other top stories we're following this morning. We've learned at least 2 people are dead after a rare tornado ripped through parts of northern Michigan. The National Weather Service giving a preliminary report that it was an EF3 with peak winds up to 140 miles per hour. Experts say extreme spring winds are uncommon in the area because the Great Lakes typically suck energy out of the storms. Data shows a tornado was on the ground for 26 minutes. Officials say the 2 people killed were both in their 70s and lived in a mobile home park that took a huge hit.
We are here. We are going to work closely. We're going to work together. We're going to recover. This community is the heart of northern Michigan, and our thoughts are with everyone who's been impacted by this storm.
At least 44 other people were hurt in this storm. Officials say around 95% of the mobile homes in the area were destroyed.
Headed to California, a shooting there ends with 1 person dead, 8 more wounded. Police say this all happened at a party that drew about 100 people to a Southern California hookah lounge. San Bernardino police say the shooting involved at least 2 people that started inside the hookah lounge, and this stemmed from an argument. Then people spilled into the parking lot where more gunshots were fired. Of the 8 people who were injured, some were taken by ambulance, others went on their own accord to the hospital. Investigators say their injuries did not appear to be life-threatening. As for the investigation, 2 people detained, 1 arrested on suspicion of possessing a stolen gun. Those individuals have not yet been identified.
Well, staying in California, newly released video shows a dramatic aerial cliffside rescue just south of San Francisco. On Thursday, a fisherman spotted a man stuck halfway down the 500-foot cliff and called police. A paramedic on a helicopter was hoisted down to attach a tether to the man in need. It's still unclear how the man got stuck on that cliff.
Well, back here at home, a pair of San Antonio animal shelters are out of space and desperately need help. The kennels at the City Municipal Shelter and San Antonio Pets Alive are full. Although Pets Alive says it's using temporary crates, the shelter is hoping to spread the word to help find more animals, more foster families, and basically save them. So if you'd like to become a dog foster parent, we have everything you need to know posted on our website. Just look for the story on KSAT.com. All right, now turning to the ongoing baby formula crisis.
The first flights of infant formula from Europe, authorized by President Joe Biden to relieve a deepening U.S. shortage, will arrive in Indiana aboard a military aircraft today.
ABC's Karina Mitchell explains.
A military plane carrying tens of thousands of pounds of baby formula from overseas is expected today in Indiana. The flight will take off from Ramstein Air Base in Germany. It's the first under Operation Fly Formula. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack will be on hand when that shipment arrives in Indianapolis.
We moved a lot of vaccines for Operation Warp Speed. Baby formula, this is probably a new one for us, but we're here to help. You can depend on us, and when you need us, we're there for you.
71,000 pounds of formula on that first flight. All of it is specialized for babies allergic to proteins in cow's milk. The White House says an additional hypoallergenic formula is expected to be flown out in the coming days. Many parents are growing desperate. Kim Anatra hasn't been able to find baby formula for her 5-month-old daughter. Now she's having to transition her to baby food a month early.
It's been pretty difficult for us to navigate now that we're literally on our last can.
Nationwide data shows an average of nearly 45% of baby formula has run out. President Joe Biden signed a bill on Saturday making it easier for recipients of the federal WIC nutrition program to use their benefits to buy baby formula. The president is also invoking the Defense Production Act after supply chain issues and a voluntary recall at Abbott's main formula-making plant in Michigan triggered the shortages. Abbott CEO Robert Ford in a Washington Post op-ed writes, quote, "We're sorry to every family that we've let down," and says he expects the facility will be able to restart by the first week in June. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. That is why later this morning on Leading SA at 8 a.m., a specialist with UT Health San Antonio is going to be joining us live. We're going to be talking about a lot pertaining to mental health, specifically how it impacts people in and around our community, what we see in local children and local families, as well as signs to look out for. If you have any questions that you would like to ask, you can still submit them. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. Then join us later this morning, 8 a.m., for all the answers. All right, so we saw RJ Marquez covering it live yesterday. More than 100 writers and authors in San Antonio this weekend for the city's annual book festival.
The event included vendors, food trucks, book signings, and sessions with authors in and about the Central Public Library and Southwest School of Art in downtown. This year marked the festival's 10th anniversary. Organizers expected nearly 18,000 people to attend.
You get to bring readers and writers together, and these are people who normally work in isolation, and so a book festival really brings those two communities, and you get to celebrate books and stories. So I just think it's important that San Antonio has an event like this, and I just, hope to see it grow in the coming years.
The festival was filled with extra excitement this year. It marked the first in-person book festival since the pandemic. Time now, 6:40, 67 degrees out.
Well, just ahead on GMSA, we're taking a look at the largest career field in the U.S. Air Force and what the training for the job looks like.
And of course, we're going to be checking in with Sarah Spivey. A lot happening in the weather the last 24 hours. So what can we expect for the rest of the weekend and the work week? We'll be right back.
Well, if you've ever visited a military base, you've probably seen people checking IDs and conducting vehicle inspections at various entry points.
All right, so we were talking about military police, which actually is the U.S. Air Force's largest career field.
Our Jonathan Cotto takes us behind the highly secured gates of Joint Base San Antonio Lackland and shows us what some of the training for security forces looks like.
Every job in the United States Air Force has a mission, but the responsibility of defending and protecting everything and everyone inside an Air Force installation lies on those who serve as part of the Air Force's largest career field, security forces.
What we always tell the airmen is that nobody else on base can do their job without us, all the way down to the gate. If they can't check an identification properly and ensure the base security, then my individuals working at the medical facility cannot do their job. My individuals working at MPF cannot do their job without us. So we are the first base support.
A military police's foundation is established here, learning everything from career field history to weapons training.
So the journey is about 65 days long. It starts with them arriving out of BMT, out of here at Lackland Air Force Base.
Ma'am, what seems to be the problem?
The courses gradually intensifying, taking their training from an interactive environment.
Drop the weapon! Drop it!
To out in the field, simulating real-world scenarios.
You need to calm down. Sir, drop your weapon. They're out here. We give them a little bit of stress inoculation to kind of get their heart rate going, their adrenaline pumping, kind of simulated to what they're going to experience in a real-life scenario. And we get them in the houses with those real-time reflexive responses so they can react accordingly.
But the training doesn't end here.
And then after that, they'll move into their field training up at Camp Bullis, just north of San Antonio.
So our first strike we're going to learn is called the forward strike.
Upon returning, they'll take on combatives.
Horizontal strike. Forward, because the baton is moving forward.
A final and critical component to their training led by retired Senior Sergeant Richard Olivares, who served 26 years and 9 days on active duty. His new passion? Training these young defenders.
What we do is we teach these students to use the minimal amount of force as possible, obviously up to and including lethal force, which includes a firearm. So what they're learning right now is expandable baton, which is a less lethal or non-lethal weapon. So it is a tool that gives our defenders an advantage over just being empty-handed or bare hands in order to employ force to effect an apprehension.
Whether these security force specialists are assigned to guard the world's most powerful weapons or stand guard at a base gate, they'll leave tech school that much tougher, mentally and physically.
It's a big responsibility because you're going into something that has a lot of expectations. Everyone in the Air Force is pretty much looking at you to be the best of your job, and so it makes people like me and other people nervous. But I think at the end of the day, if you come to tech training and you're motivated and you learn these skills, then you'll be all right.
There are over 300,000 airmen in the United States Air Force. 40,000 of those are security forces. The schoolhouses here at Lackland graduate 5,400 airmen each year. Reporting Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
All right, well, yesterday was a special day, a welcome home ceremony for 20 heroes returning from the trip of a lifetime. The group made up of World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam veterans who just visited the nation's capital for the very first time.
The flight was made possible by the nonprofit organization Honor Flight San Antonio. Organizers say it's their way of thanking these brave men and women for their service. A music-filled ceremony last night welcomed them home, including 81 airmen from Joint Base San Antonio Lackland.
Oh, that is so cool to see the smiles on their faces. So amazing. All right. Checking back in with Sarah Spivey. Sarah, how are we looking?
Hey guys, yeah, so I don't know about you, but last night I woke up because of the thunder and the lightning around San Antonio, and we had scattered showers and storms, even a brief severe thunderstorm warning for Bexar County. But as you can see, when we look at the 24-hour rainfall, really, honestly, San Antonio as a whole missed out on healthy rains, unfortunately, around San Antonio, and also there was a hole in the rainfall out toward Floresville and Wilson County as well. But there were a few areas that got some good rain. Let's go ahead and take a trip up to 81 and sample a few of these areas closer to Bulverde. We saw about let's say about half an inch of rainfall there, a few tenths out toward New Braunfels as well, but look down toward Medina Lake, up to about 2 inches of rain estimated there at Medina Lake. So some very healthy rainfall totals for some folks, but unfortunately around San Antonio, we really missed out on the healthy rain, at least temporarily. Elsewhere across the Winter Garden region, some really healthy rainfall there as well, and south of Pleasanton in Atascosa County. Let's take a current look at the the radar and see where things are. There's just a few remaining thunderstorms down near Beeville and near Freer as well. We're not really going to see another chance for rain today, but again, if you missed out on the rain, we have got plenty of rain chances in our forecast through Wednesday, especially by tomorrow night, and we'll talk about that here in our forecast. Right now, though, we're enjoying some cooler weather because of the front that moved through. It's 67 degrees. Winds are from the north at about 12 miles per hour. You can feel the lower humidity out there, too. Wind gusts of up to 22 miles per hour right now reported at the San Antonio International Airport. Meanwhile, we're seeing a wind gust of close to 25 out near Del Rio, Uvalde, and up near Kerrville, a wind gust of 20 miles per hour. Temperatures are falling very nicely in the hill country. It's 62 in Kerrville and 59 in Rock Springs. Meanwhile, it's 64 in New Braunfels. It feels great in New Braunfels, even colder across parts of the Panhandle where it's in the 40s. Today is going to be a relatively cool day. We'll be able to see some sunshine this afternoon, and even though it is going to be not technically cool outside, it will be a lot cooler than what we've been seeing the last few days. Yesterday we got up to 101. Today we're forecasting high temperature of 85, and in the hill country temperatures are going to struggle to get out of the 70s. We'll be in the 60s this morning with some cloudiness, but then by noon skies are going to really clear. We'll be warming up into the low 80s with winds from the northeast at about 15 miles per hour, so it is going to be breezy at times. 85 for the high, feeling great today comparatively to the last few days. And again, if you did not see good rain yesterday, and a lot of us didn't see good rain last night, Monday night, tomorrow night is our best chance for rain over the extended forecast, and we continue to see scattered showers and storms in the forecast through Wednesday. So let's take a look at Monday's futurecast. In the morning, there could be some storms west of San Antonio. These will likely fizzle out before they even make it to the Alamo City, and it's not until the late afternoon, early evening, and into the overnight hours that we see storms. Tomorrow in the afternoon, another day where temperatures are going to be in the 80s rather than in the triple digits. That's good news. And then here comes the potential for some storms. Starting Monday night after 6 p.m., we'll be watching very carefully. A line of storms could make it to San Antonio by midnight, and some of those storms could be on the strong to severe side with gusty winds and damaging large hail possible in pockets. So 60% chance for storms in the late evening and overnight hours tomorrow, but we continue to see rain in the forecast, especially on Wednesday as well. Temperatures will only be in the mid to upper 80s this week for the majority of the week, but Memorial Day weekend starts off toasty. Temperatures in the 90s, Sarah and Max.
Man, I just hope I get some of that rain.
That's fair. Time now, 6:52, 66 degrees out. You want to talk about the game?
No, that's all you, Max.
All right. So, Eastern Conference Finals heating up. A little pun intended, because, you know, the Heat are playing. We're going to take a look at morning sports next. Good morning, welcome back. We have some basketball to talk about. NBA playoffs. I'm already thinking about football. NBA playoffs continue. Eastern Conference Finals in Boston last night. Miami Heat going into TD Garden. Best of 7 series. It was tied at 1 apiece to start the game. It would be a close one. The Celtics fell down early. They tried to come back, but Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo would not let it happen. Bam finished with 31 points. The Heat steal one in Boston, taking a 2-1 series lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. The final from TD Garden, Miami 109, Boston 103. The Heat now just 2 wins away from a trip to the NBA Finals. But the Celtics, they're going to have a chance to even the series at home tomorrow night. Game 4 tip-off set for 7:30, and that is not the only game we are ready to watch. Dallas Mavericks trying to dig themselves out of a 2-game hole in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Mavs down 2-0 to Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Game 3 tips off tonight, 8 p.m., and you want to give a shout out.
Yeah, to Cameron Carillon. She's a UTSA junior. She's on the women's golf team. She carded 73 to settle into a tie for 18th place after the first round of the NCAA championships, which are happening in Scottsdale, happened on Friday. Way to go, Cameron. We're rooting for you. Birds up.
Go Roadrunners. Time now, 6:56, 66 degrees out.
All right, stay with us. Sarah Spivey will have a final check of the forecast when we come back.
Try to drink a cup of coffee outside right now. It's nice and cool. It's 67 degrees. Dew points are low too. Today we'll be looking at a high temperature of 85. That's improved from yesterday's 101. And if you missed out on last night's rain, we've got a good chance for rain, especially tomorrow night. We'll have more news and weather for you coming up at 8.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
An SAPD officer fires his gun multiple times, killing a woman. What led up to the officer using deadly force?
And it has been a whirlwind of weather recently. We had storms, we had 100 degrees. What will we have today? We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. But until then, good morning. It is 8 o'clock this Sunday, May 22nd. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Yesterday, I basically live vicariously through you when it comes to outdoor events.
Because Max doesn't ever leave his
No, what did you call me yesterday? We were on the phone and you're like, I'm an outdoor cat, Max. I need to be outdoors.
I'm an outdoor dog. You're an indoor dog.
So what did you do yesterday?
I rode my bike.
Nice,
I got
10
out
miles.
in the heat. And then as I was coming back into my neighborhood, the storm clouds started rolling in. I could start hearing thunder. And Sarah, unfortunately, I never got any rain at my house.
You know what, Sarah? Yours is a story that many across San Antonio know. Yesterday, we had a lot of storms, but barely any bite. This is a look out at one of our KSAT Connect photos that a viewer sent in. And says that he missed out on the rain, or they missed out on the rain, but they had quite a light show and even some high wind gusts. And unfortunately, a lot of us missed out on the beneficial last night, but we know that there's continuing chances for rain in the forecast through Wednesday, but especially tomorrow night. Coming up, I'll show you the rainfall amounts yesterday, and we'll talk about our better chances for rain ahead. For now, though, we are enjoying some cooler weather behind the front that moved through. It's 65 degrees outside, and winds are gusting from the north up to 30 miles per hour. Low humidity, too. We haven't been this cool, 65 degrees, since May 5th. It is a welcome change to our forecast. It's 61 in Bernie, 64 in Rio Medina, 66 in Hondo, 64 in New Braunfels, 63 in Seguin, and 62 in Kerrville. And today, rather than seeing the triple digits, our high temperature will be in the low to mid 80s. We'll still be in the 70s by noon. If you're planning on enjoying some time outdoors for brunch, it's going to be great outside. It will be a little windy, though, with those gusts up to 25 miles per hour. 85 for the high temperature in Antonio. A recap of last night's storms and a look ahead to a better rain chance for us less than 48 hours away. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New details about a big police presence at a northeast side neighborhood. Police now confirming it is related to a shootout that happened in a church parking lot. This all started around 3 o'clock this morning off of O'Connor Road. SAPD says 2 police officers were in a vehicle near that parking lot when they driver of another vehicle speeding towards them. That's when someone inside that vehicle started shooting allegedly at those officers. One of the officers was able to turn fire as a suspect sped away. No one was hit by gunfire in the incident. Eventually, police tracked down the suspect's vehicle to a home about a mile away from the church, but the suspect wasn't there. We're told the suspect does not live at the house and that the homeowner is cooperating with police. While officers have not released many details about the suspect, they say they know who they're looking for.
Also new this morning, police investigating a man found dead right in the middle of the road on the city's west side. So this all happened in the 400 block of San Ignacio Avenue near North General McMullen and Calabria Road. Police telling us they discovered the body after responding to a call for shots fired. The victim's body found next to a vehicle that had multiple bullet holes. At this time, details are limited. We do expect more information throughout the day, so make sure to stay with us on air and online for those details. Well, a clerk at a Circle K held at gunpoint during a robbery. The suspect did get away, but he was caught on camera. Now Crime Stoppers and San Antonio police asking for your help trying to find out who this is. The incident happened back on May 17th at a Circle K on McCullough Avenue near West Josephine and I-35. Police say the suspect allegedly showed a handgun and pointed that gun at the clerk, demanded money and demanded cigarettes. The clerk told police the suspect took off with the items and left in a dark colored vehicle. Anyone with any information that can help investigators, you are asked to call the number 210-224-STOP.
Well, we have an update in the case of of a 10-year-old girl who couldn't be found yesterday. According to the San Antonio Police Department's Facebook page, Hayley Brasadio has been found. Her family could not find her around midnight yesterday. Details on how she was found have not been released, but again, the 10-year-old has been located and is safe. The war in Ukraine continues as people there continue to fight to preserve their culture. Meanwhile, Ukrainians here in San Antonio want to make sure our community knows why that culture is worth fighting for. Lee Waldman tells us about an exhibit inside the IGO Library on the northwest side that is displaying Ukrainians' proud history.
This is my mom. She is in Kyiv. All the time she was in Kyiv. She never left, and she's still there.
The photos on display at the IGO Library tell the story of Ukraine. It brings out a lot of feelings, and Olenka Bravo, one of the co-founders of Ukrainian San Antonio.
Very difficult to hear her on the phone when the sirens are there. And when I see her picture, it's even more difficult.
Members of Ukrainian San Antonio worked with the city council leaders in District 4 and 8 to get this display set.
This project is about Ukraine. The exhibit is, how to say it, it's of utmost importance in the war.
Bravo explains part of the attack on Ukraine is with misinformation on the Russian side, claiming Ukraine was never its own nation and that it should belong to Russia. By showcasing the photos and items of decades-old clothing, jewelry, and other artifacts from different regions, Bravo hopes this shows the deep culture of their country.
That way we have more proof to show that we always been and we always who we are.
Her 9-year-old son Albert says he feels a mix of emotions looking at the display and when talking about Ukraine.
I want people to know what it's going through right now, just everything I had to go through.
Seeing the picture of his grandmother in particular, Albert's heart breaks.
Imagine your parents, your grandparents were every day. You didn't know whether they were alive or dead. Just imagine.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. The Texas Child Health Access through telemedicine program will provide services for children and adolescents, all referred by their schools.
And so joining us in today's Leading Essay segment is Rina Pardawala, a specialist with that program through UT Health San Antonio. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Right off the bat, how big of an issue do we see in terms of mental health here in our community?
Yeah, mental health is a huge issue in our community. I think the best way to describe it is through our program. So our program commenced TCHAT, Texas Child Health Access through telemedicine. We commenced in September of 2020. And through the 2020-2021 school year, we were partnered with about 10 districts or so, and we received 1,200 referrals. That's a lot of referrals. Now, this school year, 2021-2022, we have partnered with about 37 school districts now, and we have received about 1,800 referrals, and the school year is still not over. So it is a major issue, and it's growing.
It's really just come to the forefront where I think everyone is noticing it. It's on people's minds. So what are the various types of mental illnesses that families and parents should be aware of?
Yeah, so there are a number of different mental health issues. I think what we see the most with kids is we see anxiety, especially after the pandemic. We see depression. There's a lot of PTSD we are also noticing. I think more than ever, I've been working in psychiatry and in child adolescent since 2015. I'm seeing a lot of self-harming behavior, which is worse than ever before. And there's a lot of suicidal ideations, a lot of suicidal thoughts. Of course, we always see inattention, lack of focus, oppositional defiance. We're seeing a lot more of eating disorders as well now. So there are definitely things that have grown significantly, especially in the last few years.
When parents see those signs of kids harming themselves, cutting themselves, what should their first step be to do?
Yeah, the first step they need to do is get in contact with a mental or behavioral health care provider. Of course, in our program, we are partnered with 37 districts. Families can easily speak to their school counselors as long as that school is partnered with our program, and they can be immediately referred to our program. One of the great things about our program is we provide very quick access to care. And so we can see kiddos the same day. We can see them within 72 hours. So we are a great referral source, but getting a hold of any mental health care provider, or if the child needs emergent services, to get them to an emergency room or a crisis center for mental health.
I want to take a step back for a second. Before they even get to the self-harming phase, what are some important signs to look out for to be more proactive and preventative for parents?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things we want to look for as parents is isolation. I think that's one of the first signs. We start noticing our kiddos are lacking interest in doing things. They're lacking energy. They're kind of hiding from family members. They no longer want to go to family events. I think one of the big things we look for at the schools with the teachers is they start noticing these bigger behavioral changes. So students are all of a sudden, not focusing the way they used to focus, or their school grades are dropping, or maybe they're isolating even at school. They're not hanging out with their usual group of friends. I think one of the biggest things that we hear from kids nowadays are how lonely they are. So when kids start talking about loneliness, I think that's one of the first signs we really need to look at what's going on with our child. There also actually is sleep issues. When you start noticing that your child is not sleeping as well, that's a really big indicator that maybe something is going on. Let me talk to them more about this. Let me ask them what's happening.
Well, thank you so much. All this information just so incredibly important, and all of our viewers, you can find all of it later on our website this morning at ksat.com. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Time now, 8:11, 65 degrees out.
All right, straight ahead, a multi-state salmonella outbreak forcing a recall of some Jif peanut butter. What you need to know to keep your family safe.
And remember, last year was virtual, but we are back. We had RJ Marquez out there yesterday, the annual San Antonio Book Festival, back in person. We've recapped the event after the break.
Earlier this morning, Sarah Spivey forced me to walk outside. She's like, it's 65 degrees. Enjoy it while it lasts. And I mean, yeah, it felt, I had a fleece on. Much cooler temps this morning, and we can expect more rain on the way. Sarah will explain when we come back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. More than 100 writers and authors in San Antonio this weekend for the city's annual book festival.
The event included vendors, food trucks, book signings, and sessions with authors in and about the Central Public Library and Southwest School of Art in downtown. This year marked the festival's 10th anniversary.
All right, so organizers expect to get this, nearly 18,000 people at the event.
You get to bring readers and writers together, and these are people who normally work in isolation, and so a book festival really brings those two communities, and you get to celebrate books and stories. So I just think it's important that San Antonio has an event like this, and I just, hope to see it grow in the coming years.
Obviously, if you saw RJ Marquez out there yesterday, you could have seen the festival was filled with extra excitement this year. The first in-person book festival since the pandemic began. And guys, yesterday, RJ asked us what our favorite books were to read as kids. It said Magic Treehouse, you said.
The little engine that could.
All right, so Sarah Spivey?
Green eggs and ham.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you got a lot of green behind you, too.
Oh, yeah.
Around San Antonio.
I know.
All around San Antonio.
Big old hole right over 410,
oh, man.
Unfortunately. Yeah, yesterday was the definition last night of scattered severe storms. There definitely are areas that received a good amount of rain last night, but those storms did end up breaking apart around San Antonio. So unfortunately, very little beneficial rain around the Alamo City itself, as you can see, a big hole there in the rainfall amounts. But there were some winners in the bunch. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of this. Up toward Bulverde, we had about half an inch of rain. North of Bernie, about an inch of rainfall north of Bernie. Around Medina Lake, anywhere you see these yellows, that was close to 2 inches of radar estimated rainfall. So again, some areas really did end up seeing some decent amount of rainfall, especially across the Winter Garden region, which is under exceptional drought. So very nice welcome rainfall for those areas. And as we take a look at the radar right now, really, the only thing on the radar is a storm that's in B County, and it's pushing well south of B County as we speak. So if you missed out on the rain, and it was a lot of us, we have better opportunities for rain in our very near future. Tomorrow night, a good chance for some scattered storms, some of which could be on the strong or severe side. So we're going to talk about that coming up in a bit. And rain chances continue in the forecast through Wednesday. Scattered rain is possible Wednesday itself as well. So after we get through tomorrow night's rain chance, we've still got another chance for rain on the horizon. So we're not done with the rain yet. Get your spirits back up. We have the chance for rain through the middle of the week. And it feels really nice outside. I did take Sarah Costa outside during the break there because it's 65 degrees outside. We haven't been that cool since May 5th. And it's dry outside too. Dew points are in the 50s. Winds are gusting up to 30 miles per hour in San Antonio, 30 miles per hour at Port SA, 31 mile per hour wind gust in Castroville, and 25 mile per hour wind gust up in the Hill Country. Elsewhere, we're seeing winds still gusting up to 25 miles per hour in Del Rio as well. And temperatures are very pleasant out there. It's 64 in New Braunfels, 62 in Kerrville, 65 Uvalde, 59 in Rock Springs, 70 in Del Rio, and even colder up in the Panhandle, 45 in Amarillo. There's that front pushing through the Rio Grande Valley as we speak. And throughout the rest of the day today, we're going to be seeing these clouds clear out. We'll have partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, and temperatures, rather than being in the triple digits, we're only going to be in the low to mid 80s today. Yesterday we got up to 101. Today forecasting 85. There will be some areas in the Hill Country that struggle to get out of the 70s, like at Bernie and Bulverde. 85 in Poteet, 84 at Stinson, 82 Seguin and New Braunfels for the day today. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast, again, those clouds hang on through about the late morning hours. Temperatures will still be in the 70s by noon, so it's going to be nice for a Sunday brunch. We'll have northeast winds at about 15 miles per hour today, so it's going to be breezy. In the afternoon, high temperature of 85, and it'll be a mild and relatively cool night with temperatures in the 70s. So back to tomorrow's rain chance in the evening hours. Now in the morning, we could have some storms off to the west in the morning hours, but those will likely fall apart before they reach San Antonio. And we'll be still in the 80s tomorrow for the high temperature. So another day where temperatures will be fairly seasonable. But then later in the evening, after 6 p.m., a line of storms has the potential to move into San Antonio through the late night and even into the overnight hours. And those storms could be severe with gusty winds and even some hail possible. Scattered risk for severe storms tomorrow night. And again, after that chance for rain Monday night, we have another good chance for rain on Wednesday. Highs this week, no triple digits in sight. That's nice. It will be back to warm weather, though, for Memorial Day weekend. Max and Sarah.
All right, Sarah Spivey, thank you so much. 821, 65 degrees now.
All right, still to come, good news for your coffee drinkers or tea drinkers.
Oh, tea this morning.
They may be good. I saw you that.
Yeah.
I never see you do that. They may be good for you more than just a morning pickup. The link researchers say they have seen between the two beverages and two kinds of health conditions.
All right, and a big peanut butter recall spreading in parts of the country. We're going to have what you need to know, keep you and your family safe. That's next.
All right, grab your lotto tickets. Pick 3, 3, 4, 1, Fireball 8, Daily 4, 1, 8, 9, 4, Fireball 7.
All right, you showed up to work today, so I don't think you won Mega Millions.
I haven't checked.
You haven't checked?
I checked my Mega
You're like the most patient person in the world.
I forget until I see this graphic right now.
All right, let's take a look at those numbers. Cash 5, 13, 22, 23, 24, 35. Lotto Texas, 16, 17, 22, 25, 38, 46. Did you play the Powerball?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I don't know.
14, 15, 25, 52, 58. Powerball 11, Power Play 2. Good luck. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. Now to that important recall to tell you about. The FDA investigating a multi-state salmonella breakout that they believed is linked to Jif peanut butter products. So the Jif peanut butter products in question have the lot code number seen on your screen right here. It's on the side as well. A total of 14 people in 12 states have reported getting sick due to the outbreak. 2 people have been hospitalized. The cases have been traced back to the plant in Lexington, Kentucky, and it is operated by J.M. Smucker Company.
All right, if you're drinking your coffee, we've got some good news for you this morning. It seems that your morning coffee or tea is good for more than just waking up. Researchers in China say it could lower risk for stroke and dementia. The study followed more than 360,000 participants for over 10 to 14 years. The lowest risk of stroke and dementia was found among those who drank 2 to 3 cups of coffee or 3 to 5 cups of tea, or a combination of 4 to 6 cups of coffee or tea per day. So if you're caffeinated, it's a good thing. The researchers of this study stress they noticed a link between the two, but stop at saying the beverages necessarily offered protection.
Okay, so what if you have like 6 or 7?
I think you're good.
Okay, time now, 8:27, 65 degrees out.
The next half hour, GMSA packaged and loaded onto cargo planes overseas. When will the first shipments of specialized baby formula hit American grocery store shelves? The latest when we come back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. I'm Max Massey.
I'm Sarah Costa. It's Sunday, May 22nd. Thank you so much for waking up with us this Sunday morning.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a cooler Sunday than we're used to, and that's because of what happened last night.
I know. I had to have a fleece on. Sarah,
just one fleece.
Just one fleece.
Yeah, we had some storms last night around San Antonio because of a cool front that moved through. But here's the thing. These storms were pretty loud, but they really didn't produce all that much rain in the Alamo City. Here's a look at a picture from our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. A lightning strike there across downtown San Antonio. It was definitely loud at times, and some folks got some rain, while most of us unfortunately missed out on beneficial rainfall. But don't fret. If you want another chance at rain, you've got it, because we have got showers and storms, at least some showers and storms in the forecast through Wednesday, especially tomorrow night. So coming up in the forecast, we're going to talk about that risk for some storms tomorrow, as well as whether or not any of those storms could be severe. Now, the scattered rain did bring some rain for some folks and allowed for molds to go up in today's pollen count. Molds are moderate at 860. Grass and pigweed are low. Now, in the wake of the front, it's cool out there. It's 65 degrees with winds gusting from the north at 30 miles per hour. Dew points are low as well, and that's all because of that cool front that moved through. Today, rather than seeing a high temperature in the triple digits, we're going to be at 85 for the high, and for most of the day, we'll be spending time with temperatures in the 70s. Breezy with winds gusting up to 25. More on that rain chance tomorrow night coming up in just a bit. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. And to top stories this morning, a 51-year-old woman is dead, shot and killed by police on the city's east side.
So San Antonio police say the woman had a weapon when officers confronted her. Now, the investigation into what exactly happened is ongoing. John Paul Barajas explains.
A large number of officers swarming a home off Del Mar near South New Braunfels just after 5:30 for a call that started as a cutting and then escalated into police using deadly force, killing a 51-year-old woman, according to SAPD.
My dad heard six gunshots, and when he heard the shots, it came out and there was cops running out of the driveway.
Neighbor Juan Cordero explained he didn't know much, but at one point says the 51-year-old woman was waving a gun in the air prior to police arriving, which matches preliminary information given by Captain Jesse Salame, who says the 51-year-old, an on and off again girlfriend to the homeowner, came to visit and was agitated. She allegedly started either punching or scratching the boyfriend before grabbing an AR-15.
She's been in this house before. She's kind of on again, off again, so she's familiar with the house and with what's inside of it.
The SAPD captain adds the boyfriend and his roommate were able to wrestle the gun away and pushed her into the backyard and locked the door. The 51-year-old then allegedly grabbed a long blade knife and was stabbing the door when officers arrived.
The witnesses reported hearing the commands by officers to drop the knife.
A 3-year veteran with the department ended up shooting multiple rounds, killing the 51-year-old. That officer reported trying to use a taser before switching to the more lethal option.
You say the taser was ineffective. It was ineffective when it hit her, or was ineffective in discharging?
We don't know, and that's part of the investigation. So it's apparent that the taser was used based on the evidence.
Now, only one officer fired at that 51-year-old, but 3 of them confronted her. All of them are down at SAPD headquarters giving their statements and will likely face either administrative leave or administrative duty. And there is still a lot to look at in this case, like officer body cam video as well as neighbor's doorbell video. As for the boyfriend and the roommate, they did not suffer any serious injuries. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. Well, here in San Antonio, parents of a San Antonio 14-year-old boy suing Apple, yes, the iPhone company, or in this case, the AirPod company. They are blaming Apple's AirPods for hurting the 14-year-old's eardrum. The parents who live in San Antonio filed the lawsuit in California federal court, where Apple's headquarters is. Now, the parents claim their son had the AirPods in his ear on low volume. That's when an Amber Alert tone came out, and that came out at loud volume. They say the sudden noise tore apart their son's eardrum. You can read more about the lawsuit right now. Just head to KSAT.com. All right, headed to New York. A 30-year-old man is dead after running yesterday's half marathon in New York City. Authorities say the man collapsed after finishing the race, and that's when he passed away. Now, we are still waiting to find out how exactly he died, but New York did experience a record heat wave yesterday. 15 runners had to be transported to area hospitals because of those hot temperatures during the run. Now, to keep cool, 22,000 runners were running through misters and cooling towers. That's what lined the race path.
Well, President Joe Biden says he is not concerned about what North Korea may do during his trip to Asia. The president making those comments today before leaving Seoul, South Korea. The U.S. believes North Korea may test a long-range missile while Biden is in the region. President Biden says he's prepared. From there, the president went to the Osan Air Force Base for a tour of its operations center. Afterwards, he boarded Air Force One and landed in Tokyo Air Base in Japan. Well, the first flights of infant formula from Europe authorized by President Joe Biden to relieve a deepening U.S. shortage will arrive in Indiana aboard a military aircraft today.
This is a day so many parents across the country have been waiting for. ABC's Karina Mitchell explains.
A military plane carrying tens of thousands of pounds of baby formula from overseas is expected today in Indiana. The flight will take off from Ramstein Air Base in Germany. It's the first under Operation Fly Formula. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack will be on hand when that shipment arrives in Indianapolis.
We moved a lot of vaccine for Operation Warp Speed. Baby formula, this is probably a new one for us, but we're here to help. You can depend on us, and when you need us, we're there for you.
71,000 pounds of formula on that first flight. All of it is specialized for babies allergic to proteins in cow's milk. The White House says an additional hypoallergenic formula is expected to be flown out in the coming days. Many parents are growing desperate. Kim Anatra hasn't been able to find baby formula for her 5-month-old daughter. Now she's having to transition her to baby food a month early.
It's been pretty difficult for us to navigate now that we're literally on our last can.
Nationwide data shows an average of nearly 45% of baby formula has run out. President Joe Biden signed a bill on Saturday making it easier for recipients of the federal WIC nutrition program to use their benefits to buy baby formula. The president is also invoking the Defense Production Act after supply chain issues and a voluntary recall at Abbott's main formula-making plant in Michigan triggered the shortages. Abbott CEO Robert Ford in a Washington Post op-ed writes, quote, "We're sorry to every family that we've let down," and says he expects the facility will be able to restart by the first week in June. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
Well, today, back here at home, the Tejano Konjunto Festival on the west side, it is wrapping up. So this is your last day to partake. The 4-day event celebrating 40 years with music and food in Rosedale Park on Dartmouth Street. Organizers believe more than 10,000 people from across the country and internationally will have attended this year's festival. Things kick off this morning, 11 a.m. with Southside High School Student Showcase. The Tejano Konjunto Festival ends tonight at 10 p.m. So 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and tickets are still available.
Also happening today, another live music event that's breathing new life into the Real Life Amphitheater in Selma. The venue reopens today with the Zach Brown Band breaking it in. RJ Marquez got a sneak peek of the facilities that was once known as the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater. He tells us what to expect and what this means as future shows coming to our area.
You can call it a real-life rebirth. Years after it closed, the Real Life Amphitheater in Selma is finally ready to host larger concerts.
We acquired this property years ago and just recognized that this was beyond us.
Sean Azaro is the pastor of River City Community Church, which bought the property in 2011.
This was more than just a church home, that we wanted to offer this property as a gift really to the communities.
But the venue was in a state of disrepair. Azaro and the team, including General Manager George Ebarb, worked to upgrade and maintain it.
Boost the Wi-Fi, run new cabling, redo the stage,
And then we started the journey in the process of putting seats back inside this amphitheater.
The acoustics are fantastic on the hill. That is a great place to enjoy a concert.
The Real Life Amphitheater will seat 20,000 people for live events and shows, and that includes 8,000 people under the roof here at the amphitheater and 12,000 more outside on the lawn. And now this becomes the second largest live entertainment venue here in the San Antonio area.
We are one of the largest cities in the country that didn't have an operating outdoor amphitheater of this size.
Aaron Zimmerman with the Tobin Center says the amphitheater represents more options for entertainers that would otherwise not stop in our area.
More options is better for the people of San Antonio and allows different types of arts to be presented in different places.
The first big show is Sunday's Zach Brown Band concert, but it's just the beginning.
Festivals, we can do wine tasting events. There's just amazing amount of things that we can do.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Time now, 8:41, 65 degrees out.
Well, coming up, more than 30 veterans show they are up to the challenge and present to them by the Wounded Warriors Project. We'll explain.
All right, let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. Ooh, got a shaky camera out there. 65 degrees out there right now. You went outside this morning.
Yeah, I was cold because it's.
You also wear like 4 jackets in the newsroom.
Yeah.
What can we expect for the rest of the day and the work week? We're checking with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments.
Today, with tensions high across the globe, Martha Raddatz stunning rare access inside the crown jewel of American nuclear defense on a nuclear sub. Plus, no decision yet in Pennsylvania's big Senate race. What happens next? Today on ABC's This Week.
Good morning and welcome back. So we're going to tell you about something called the Soldier Ride Century Challenge. It's a cycling event aimed at uniting veterans while showing them they can still work together to achieve a big goal. Now, the event put on yesterday by the Wounded Warrior Project, veterans cycled 100 miles through San Antonio. Now, this year, 35 veterans joined in on the challenge. It takes up to 8 hours. So for some of those who were participating, it meant so much more than just a bike ride.
When I was medically retired, I kind of was in a bad place, had some depression, didn't really know what I was going to do next. And Wounded Warrior Project and cycling really helped me find a purpose. And so I ride almost every single day.
All right, so the challenge started at the Southside Lions Park, and the veterans cycled all the way to Lady Berg Johnson Trailhead. Now, organizers say physical health and wellness activities, they help veterans cope with stress, and just an amazing event, and I'm glad so many people turned out for it. But I got to say, it must have been tough riding the bike at 100 degrees out there, Sarah.
Oh my goodness, we got up to 101 yesterday, guys. Completely different. We're going to be some nearly 20 degrees cooler today, all because of a front that moved through last night. You heard the thunder, you probably saw the lightning, but unfortunately, around the most populated areas in San Antonio, we just did not see much rain from last night's scattered strong to severe storms. As you can see, there's right around the 410 area, pretty much a hole in the rainfall amounts, and even up toward Leon Springs in those areas, maybe only a few hundredths to a tenth of an inch of rainfall in some places. But again, there were some folks that saw a good amount of rain. Anywhere you see these greens, that's anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. And then in some pockets, up to 2+ inches of rain. Let's go ahead and take a look out toward the west, toward Castroville, Lacoste area, nearly 2 inches of radar estimated rain, nearly 2 inches of radar estimated rain there near Medina Lake, and across the Winter Garden region out toward Pearsall, very healthy rainfall amounts. Let's take a look at the radar right now. Really only some thunderstorms out in B County, and those are pushing on off toward the Gulf of Mexico. We're done for the rain today, but if you missed out on the rain, and as I just showed you, a lot of us did, we do have a better chance for some storms late tomorrow night in the evening and overnight hours. 60% chance for scattered thunderstorms, some of which could be on the strong or severe side. But even then, we continue to see rain chances in the forecast through at least Wednesday. For now, it's nice and cool outside. A welcome change to our forecast. It's 65 degrees. By the way, The last time we were at 65 was all the way back in May 5th. So again, a much cooler forecast out there than what we've been dealing with. North winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour and humidity has fallen quite a bit. Here's a look at the satellite imagery. Off to the west, we've got a little bit of sunshine for Uvalde, Hondo, Del Rio. Temperatures out there are in the 60s, but we're still relatively socked into cloud cover around San Antonio. We're still going to see some sun today. We just got to wait until the later part of the morning and into the afternoon. 64 in Converse, 69 at Stinson, 62 Bulverde, 61 in Bernie, 63 in Kerrville, and 64 in New Braunfels. As I mentioned, it's gusty. Winds are from the north from that front, gusting up to 30 miles per hour around San Antonio. And as we look at the forecast for the day today, again, we're going to see clearing skies this afternoon. Temperatures, forget about the triple digits. We're going to be looking at the low to mid 80s for the high. 82 in Seguin, 82 New Braunfels, 82 Converse, 84 Castroville, 84 in Hondo, close to 85 around San Antonio, and even in the upper 70s in parts of the hill country. For the first time today, we're likely to have a high temperature cooler than seasonably average. Thank you, cold front. Okay, taking a look at the next 12 hours, your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Seeing temperatures in the 70s this morning, seeing some sun by lunch, 78 around lunch. It's going to feel great for any kind of Sunday brunch or anything like that. This afternoon, close into the low to mid 80s. Winds are going to stay breezy from the north, 10 to 20, gusting up to 25, 30 miles per hour. And then this evening, temperatures will fall into the 70s. It's going to be a really nice day. Let's transition and talk about our next best chance for rain. Monday night. Looking at Monday during the morning, there could be some storms off to the west, but those are likely to fall apart during the midday hours. And we'll be looking at another day where the high temperature should be in the mid 80s tomorrow. It's not until after 5 p.m. that we start to see our storm chances really tick up. Then off to the west, a complex of storms is likely going to develop into a line and push east into San Antonio, potentially into the overnight hours. And we do have to be on the lookout for some severe weather with those storms tomorrow night. There could be the chance for some damaging wind gusts and also some large hail. And again, Monday evening and in the overnight hours, we're under a scattered risk for severe weather tomorrow. Even after our chance for rain tomorrow night, we see some isolated showers in the forecast Tuesday and then some scattered storms once again on Wednesday. Then the tap turns off before Memorial Day weekend and it'll get back to a hot forecast for Memorial Day weekend with highs in the 90s. Max and Sarah.
Thank you so much. Time now 8:51, 64 degrees out.
Here's what's coming up tomorrow on GMSA.
Good morning, I'm Jonathan Goto. Tomorrow on GMSA, we'll give you a look into a specialized group of instructors training militaries from other countries.
The news you need to know before you go. Police found a man dead in the middle of San Ignacio Avenue near North General McMullen and Calabria Road on the west side. Now, police discovered the body next to a car filled with bullet holes, and they responded to this because of a call for shots fired. We're going to have much more information throughout the day on air and online at KSAT.com.
Last night's scattered storms have made mold moderate in the pollen count today. Grass and pigweed are present in low amounts. It's 66 in San Antonio. Feels great out there behind the front. It's even cooler up in Bernie. It's 60 in Bernie. Now today we'll be looking at a high temperature only of 85 degrees. That is welcome change after the triple digit heat we've been dealing with. It's going to stay breezy though today. Windy with gusts up to 25 to 30 miles per hour from the northeast. Better chance for storms late tomorrow. Some of those storms could be strong or severe. Keep that KSAT Weather Authority app handy. You know, I was watching meteorologist Katie Blake on the Weather Authority app last night when we had some of those severe thunderstorm warnings in the area. And we'll have a chance for some showers and storms through Wednesday in our forecast. Max and Sarah.
All right, so for all those people out there with the green thumb, like our Sarah Costa, what can you tell them about their garden?
Put your rain gauge out.
Yeah, put your rain gauge out. And again, we have the better chance tomorrow night for storms.
All right.
Hopefully that does happen. I'll take my 60%, Sarah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.
She's holding me accountable.
Have a great rest of your Sunday.